Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips for Wednesday, the 20th of November. Sorry for the pause. I always have to remember what date it is. So these are horse racing selections for Wednesday, the 20th of November. So already I've got a non runner. What are the chances? I've only put the bet on half an hour. So I'm going to leave it with just three selections. What I need to ask is, for a bit of luck, I need you to do me a favour. Please click the like button. I shall tell you why now. Because it happened a while back and the person's returned because within the first five likes, I always get a dislike, and that never normally happens. I know from the stats. So the same person is back again, disliking every single video within the first 5 minutes. And a quick message to that person: you do realize that if you're constantly disliking my videos, it's not going to make any effect whatsoever on how many people see these videos. It's not going to affect the YouTube algorithm because what they will detect is that it's the same person disliking every single video. So it doesn't make any difference. Doesn't bother me. It won't bother the YouTube algorithms, and it doesn't bother anybody else. It just, if you're not happy and you're a subscriber, unsubscribe and find another channel. But for all those people that like or just watch the content without liking, welcome to the channel. And so rant over. It's not a rant really. It's just unnecessary. So let me get into Wednesday's selections. So as I said, I've got a non-runner already. I'm sticking to just the three. I think we can class it as a profitable day on Tuesday. But yeah. I don't know what happened, to be fair. I don't know why Southwell was abandoned. I didn't look at it. So, 5 pence each way, lucky 15, taking the prices, 5 pence each way, lucky 15, leaving the prices, and 25 pence each way. Well, it's a fourfold, but it's technically a treble. But yeah, 25 pence each way accumulator. So, I actually really like the non runner. Take a look at it. It's put it in your trackers if you want. It ran an absolute cracker behind Rula Bula, which won at Market Raisin over hurdles since. This also it was off for a year though, Mustang Betty, but it was walked to post, first time headgear and fractures at post. So that tells me it's got more issues than what I have. Just so what I will say is, it's definitely one worth keeping an eye on, and it's been absent for about a year, but it looked a warmish a, a poor but warmish poor race. There was Rulabula, then there was a Henderson favourite. There was this horse that came third, Mustang Betty, and then it was a Paul Nichols horse that come fourth. It's not a fantastic race, but one where there is a little bit of talent on show. So I thought it was an interesting selection in a race full of horses pretty much that had never ran before. But it's not going to happen because it's a non-runner. Anyway, let's get on to the horses that actually run. So the first selection is the Scorpion King at 11 to 1 in the 1250 at Ffos, paying four places instead of three. I'll just let you know a quick caveat. I've got a dreadful record at Ffos. I don't know what it is, but I don't get vibes from Ffos. So let me talk about the Scorpion King. So I do believe this is trained by Oliver. I don't even know his name. Oliver Signey. It's ridden by Gavin Sheehan. So this horse, it runs pretty much the same race all the time. It's normally prominent, gets outpaced, falls behind, stays on again. So I'm hoping that this horse does actually race prominently, appreciates the step up in trip, which I've looked at the family, and the family do appreciate the step up in trip, or around about 3 miles. It's ran twice at 3 mile, but I just think it was just a bit too inexperienced, or it just wasn't its day when it ran over 3 miles. I think it wants a bog. If this horse races prominently without and actually travels well, I think I would actually like to see it lead and get a soft lead and dictate the pace. Gavin Sheehan, in my opinion, is in cracking form. He's one of the best jockeys at the moment, in my opinion, anyway. Um, so the Scorpion King, it stays all day, and I think it'll be staying on again where all the others are had enough. It might be one of them races where something else wins. Ours looks like the winner, drops back, looks like it's got no chance, and comes flying at the finish when the race is over, but might grab something like second. But I don't know. I think it's got a chance. 11-1, in my opinion's a tad too big. So the second selection, or third selection, whatever you want to call it, is On Rita at 10-1 in the 235 at Ffos, paying 4 places instead of 3. I should be very brief this one, so if you can give me a like for being brief, I appreciate it. So On Rita is trained by Neil Mulholland. This horse, I don't know why it's still with JP McManus. It's rated 80 over hurdles. I think I'd be rated 80 over hurdles, to be fair. So this horse is 10-1. It's ran several good races in the past, fresh. So it could do the same again. It's a poor race, and I'm still wondering why JP McManus still owns this horse. As I said, it runs well fresh. It's what I do believe it's won twice fresh and come placed on maybe a couple of occasions. I don't know what the reason is, but I do think it's got a chance. And that is On Rita at 10-1 in the 235 at Ffos, paying 4 places instead of 3. I was actually looking for other selection. I went further down the betting, and I could see little angles, but with other horses. But I just come back to this horse every single time. It's a dreadful race, and I think this one might have a bit of a sneak. Right. The final selection is Sandina at 14-1 in the 10-3 at Ffos, paying 4 places instead of 3. This is the most interesting, and this I'm going to say it's a nap because it's the most interesting. There's a few angles. I think, first of all, this should not be the outside of the lot, but if it is, it ought to be a bigger price than what it is. But it's probably Sky Bet playing the games again, where they offer it's the outside of the lot, but they're not offering a great price. This horse could drift. If the bookies are prepared to say this is the outside of the lot, then it should be a bigger price, in my opinion. 14-1. I'm kind of contradicting myself. I think it's a good price because I think it's got a cracking chance. So. Without going into the form too much, it was owned. Sorry, no, it wasn't. It was trained by Ben Paulin. It did okay-ish. Didn't achieve a great deal, but didn't. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't pulled up and all that kind of stuff. It ran a few nice races. It looked a little bit progressive. So this horse, I do believe it's run twice for John Joe Neal. I've already mentioned about keep an eye on John Joe Neal this year because I think he's been dreadful about that for about the last 5 years. Don't get me wrong, still has some okay. Relatively big race winners, but I just don't think he's churning them out like he should be. I think David Pipe's another one of them, by the way. But anyway, so it's trained by John Joe Neal now. So on one of its runs recently, it achieved a Racing Post rating of 89. So that isn't too far away of its current handicap mark now of 92. Its last race wasn't fantastic, but I don't think it was as bad as what it actually was. I think this horse has got a very dangerous handicap mark. What I also find interesting is who is the stable jockey pretty much for Ben Paulin? It is Keelan Woods. Keelan Woods is riding this horse for John Joe Neal. So there must be some kind of connection there anyway between the jockey and the horse, or you would think so anyway. I find it very interesting because Richard McLernan, who rides On Rita, is at Ffos. So why wouldn't he just ride another one of John Joe's? It's actually Keelan Woods on board. So I find it interesting. Should not be I can't say it should not be 14-1. It should not be the outside of the lot. I think 14-1 is okay a price because it's got a much better chance than they realise. It's very dangerous off its current handicap mark. I'm going to leave it at that. So once again, if you can give me a like, I would really appreciate it. And I'll just say, I don't know. I can't find the notification. I've had a notification on my phone where somebody's put thanks and it said £5. I don't know. I can't find it anywhere. I don't know if somebody's thanked me for £5 or if I'm just, I don't know. I've got absolutely no idea. So if you have done, thanks. If you have done, let me know. Or let me know what selections you fancy in the comments. The comments is much more lively than it was a couple of weeks back, so I really appreciate that. And for the continual disliker, have a fantastic day. So the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.